Grand Rising, beautiful beings. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. We're back with part two. I promised you a part two. I told you we would do the clay mask today. So here goes. Yeah, my one beautiful blue glove. I love my blue gloves. Um, let's talk about some things. This morning, we touched on setting boundaries, and I'm adjusting you guys a little bit. Setting boundaries and making plans and goals. And in case you want to know, this is my sleep clay mask. I like doing it sometimes when I don't have any plans to go anywhere for the day. Because it relaxes my skin, and it helps me to stay in that Zen mode. So sometimes I use it, like I said, during the day when I don't have anything going on. And today is a kind of chill day for me. I made it a kind of chill day. I put my phone in do not disturb. Don't come at me about how I'm applying this. This is how I know to apply it. So I'm not trying to be or do it in a particular way that is conducive to the way others do it. I'm just the type of person that don't normally do stuff the way everybody else do it anyway. So here I am. Yeah. So I'm kind of applying it to my face, the perimeter first, and then I will go in and fill it in really good, and the rest of it, just trying to make sure that I get it as good as possible, especially on my nape area, because those areas in this robe is my everyday robe, so it gets washed on a regular anyway, so it's okay. So then I start to apply and do like a fill-in the rest of the facial area. And if you can see, I applied a little bit more thicker in other places, only because I have some hyperpigmentation. I noticed that since I'm getting older, on different parts of my face, I have a little discoloration that started appearing a few years ago, and my skin is actually changing a lot in different areas. Not in my face as much as my arms, my legs, my stomach, and my chest, because I'm starting to get really, really light spots. And no, they're not liver splashes. I talked to my doctor, and he described it as some form of vitiligo, which I'm like, I thought you had to have vitiligo and not just randomly develop it, but he said it can be either or. So I don't know if you know what he's talking about, but it's there. And the older I get, the more it is pronounced, like I said, in certain areas. I'm not gonna fight against it. I'm just gonna do what I can to try to keep it looking as natural as possible. Yeah. So anyway, um, this clay mask, it consists of water, bentonite, kaolin, polysorbates, mineral oils. Um, what else is it? Lithium, magnesium, sodium, cellates, collagen, retinol, lavender oil, shea butter. Yeah. This is it. I don't know if you can see it all that well. It's not that focused, but needless to say, this is my clay mask, and I let it stay on until it kind of hardens. My blue glove goes in the trash, and yeah, I let it stay on until it hardens, and then once it hardens, I will wipe it off and do my face cream. Got a face cream. And I do this during the daytime when I'm going to be at home because I don't plan on going out into any direct sunlight. It's soothing to my skin. I know a lot of people do it at nighttime, but at nighttime it's not always good for me because of the fact that I do have things going on sometimes at night that requires my attention more than a clay mask. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to get it done. And then I just planned on resting for a couple of hours after I finish this. And then I also have the Relax and Tight Skin Serum. I use that as well because I like for my skin to have that glow. I mean, that tight look. And my face oil gives it that glow. And if you're wondering about the lip balm that I used, it's by the same company. I'll tell you, boy, this lip balm here, they have them lips feeling smooth and juicy. But yeah, so I'm back while that's drying. Sometimes this helps to speed up the process. But while that clay mask is drying, I just wanted to, finish up where we stopped off at. Kind of stretch my collar out. Earlier and talking about guidelines and boundaries and plans. We touched bases on me wanting to do a mobile tiny home on wheels. We talked about me wanting to put myself in a position to be able to purchase land to build a tiny house community / family compound for those in the family that want to be a part of it. And also we talked about getting control of my health, getting to the point where I'm not only, because I've lost a lot of weight, but there's so much more for me to do. And it's not always about weight when they say get control of your health, because everybody who has health issues is not overweight. I take a lot of steroids. So that has a lot to do with it. A lot of people look at a person that's overweight and they say, oh, she need to pull away from the table. Well, guess what, y'all? I eat one meal a day. Now, I do like to snack here and there in between at times, not all the time. I have cravings at times. I'm at that menopause stage where it is finalizing. So I don't have, the regular female cycles and stuff like that, but I do still have the mood swings. I do still have the cravings for sugar or for something salty every now and again. And I notice that I'm in the house with three other females. So it's normally a boomerang effect in this household. So, and during that time, like they said, when one woman is on her, she kind of like, hit the other one to tap in. So yeah. So anyway, I don't know why I keep looking that way, but she kind of like, tap in, sis, and they'd be like, okay, it's my turn, and I hate it when that happens, but what can you do about it? It's nature. So yeah, you see how it's drying. You can see how it's going from a darker to a lighter part. The parts that are showing up lighter gray is the parts that's drying at this point. And as they progress, eventually the whole mask will get lighter. So anyway, going through that menopausal stage, I went through the perimenopause and all that. I didn't know what the hell was going on with me. I'm be honest with y'all. I just knew that I was having hot flashes, and it was coming in waves, and it was coming in different parts of my body. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? One minute I'm cold, the next minute I'm sweating, I'm all sweaty and don't know why. And then I went through never having this before, but having what was like a feminine odor. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not even, the first thing you think when a female have a feminine odor, oh, she's sexual, and this is from her not taking care of her body and stuff. That's not true all the time. Sometimes when you're going through perimenopause and menopause, your chemicals in your body can change up and cause you to have a smell different from your regular sweat smell. And so I had to learn that, because I was talking to my doctor. I say, hey doc, I am not sexually active. I haven't been sexually active in quite some years now. And so what is going on with me? Why am I having this odor? And it's displeasing to me because of the fact that I don't smell like my natural self, and I could be took a bath and I'm all fresh and I'm smelling good, and my perfume is right and everything, and then all of a sudden I have these hot flashes and I start to sweat, and my sweat don't smell right, and just things don't smell right. And my doctor was like, it's your chemicals in your body. And because of you going through the menopausal stage, that is a part of it. So instead of me assuming that I knew about menopause, I had to do my research. Everything in life is, if you pay attention to it, it's about research. You're going to research things that you never thought of researching before, especially if you are a female, especially if you're a wife, a mother. You become a scientist just by nature, because you have to figure out so much stuff for so many different people that you are, responsible for. So I had to do my research, and I had to know what days that was and what days I needed to kind of watch what I'm eating, because it has a lot to do with your food intake a lot of times. What I'm eating, what I'm drinking, how I keep my body temperature regulated. What I'm putting on clothes wise. Should I be in a more cooler attire than, at this point, things like that. So I went through that, and I did my research, and I understood what the doctor was coming from. However, we can naturally regulate times like this by, like I said, watching what you're eating, watching what you're drinking, watching the kind of detergents that you're using, um, watching the clothing that you put on your body during certain times. So yeah, that on that. Um, so I kind of wanted to just touch bases with you. I know this seems like more of a female video, but guys, it's important for you to know as well, because sometimes you're in a house with women, maybe your wife, maybe your daughter, maybe your mother, maybe another family member, and you don't know what's going on because the mood swings are there and the attitudes are there and they're emotional and they're all over the place. They have the highs and the lows, and you're lucky if you peak them right in the middle of the whole process of going through what they're going through. So yeah, you just gotta do your research and be understanding, and don't make it about you during those particular times, because it's not about you. It's about the biological clocks and their chemical imbalances and things that they are dealing with at that particular point in time. So give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to pause for a minute. Where was I? Oh, it's not just for the women, it's for the men as well. Do your research. If you really care about the women that you're in the house with, you'll do your research. You won't assume to know, because you don't. You're not a woman. So stop assuming that you know what the deal is, and do your research. Yeah, because when you think about it, men won't admit it, but they go through that menopause. I mean that well, they don't call it menopause for men, but they should. Menopause. But do your research for you, because you guys have emotional mood swings and chemical imbalances as well. It's not just the women. Y'all go through it. A lot of times y'all, well, man, ain't nothing wrong with me. Yeah, buddy, something wrong with you. You need to check your diet. You need to check the detergents that you're using. You need to check the chemicals that you're putting in your body and on your body. I've learned that you really should not put anything on your body that you can't consume. What about that? That's a whole nother topic, guys. That you really should not consume. You're supposed to be able to eat what you use on your body. So guess what, y'all? That brings me to another thing. We're going to be transitioning into more natural and organic things. We're going to be making our own facial clays and lotions and soaps and body washes, our own detergents and things of that nature. So those are videos that's going to be coming in the very near future. We are transitioning from all of the store-bought chemicals to more natural and organic things. You see what I was talking about? How it's changing. How now I only have a few dark areas left. And I'm going to let those continue to do what they do. And then once they get to the point where they're pretty much a light color, then I'll go ahead and wipe it off and we'll go to the next stage with that. So, just thinking about it, sometimes health issues along with medications, can cause problems with your chemicals in your body. Doctors prescribing stuff for you, but they're not telling you how this could possibly change the way you feel, the way you smell, your thought process at the time you consume it. There are so many things that when we are given a prescription medication, we don't take the time to, once again, you're going to hear me say that word a lot, research it and understand what changes it could cause in our body, So, and I keep doing this because it's getting real tight now. But what changes that those medications can cause our body to go through. And so I'm on a lot of steroids. And because I'm on a lot of steroids, because I've gained weight and I struggle with my weight because I can get it down to a certain point and still be taking my medication so that I can breathe properly, but I will get at a standstill and I can't go any further with the weight loss. So I can lose the weight to a certain point, but it'll kind of like get like a stop, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so that's frustrating because I'm like, I was doing so good and I'm watching what I'm eating and I'm watching what I'm drinking and all of this kind of stuff. And it's just the medication. And so I have an inhaler. Well, I have a couple of inhalers. I think it's about 3 of them. And these have steroids in them. And then I have a sinus medication because I suffer real bad with my sinusitis. And that's kind of a steroid. One of them is in there. And then I have other medications that contain steroid or some form of a steroid in it. So, I have, and I'm looking out my window because behind you guys, my blinds are open. So, yeah, so the 1 meal a day, it don't always work. It don't always work. And trust me, there's nothing worse than to have steroids as a regular part of your regimen and you're trying to practice 1 meal a day. It's horrible. Guys, it's so frustrating sometimes that I'm just like, this just can't be what I'm going to have to deal with. But you know what? They say he puts no more on us than what we can handle. And the Most High must really, really have confidence in me that I can handle a lot because, whoa. But yeah, so guys, men, our brothers, our husbands, our fathers, our friends, do your research. Know what we're dealing with so you can know what you're dealing with, if that makes sense to you. It's important to know what your woman or sister or mother or whatever the female is going through in your life, so you can understand them better and not take it so personal, because it's really not personal. We don't really have a grudge against you. We don't really dislike you unless you do something to make us not like you. But when we're going through that menopause, the menstruation periods and all of that kind of stuff, when we're howling at the moon and all this kind of stuff here. And the only reason why I say that is because I heard a guy say that. He say, it's just like she went from smiling and talking to me, howling at the moon. But yeah, when we're going through that, guess what, y'all? It's not personal, not for you. It's very personal for us. And if you act insensitive, then it becomes personal for you. Got it? Okay. But now we're just about to the finished point in this clay mask. This is a little bit more. It's a little bit more. Because I'm about ready to get this off now. So we're almost to the finish point. And then once we get to the finish point, I'm going to take it off. And I probably won't do my facial creams and stuff on the camera, only because I don't want this video to be super duper long, and we're already at 25 minutes. So y'all let me know in the comments, do y'all think that these videos are too long? Is it something that you want me to shorten? I can't shorten it too much because then it would be a short, and I do have shorts on there, but you know, do you think I should shorten it, break it down into parts like I did with this one, the first one and the second part? Or do you feel like it's okay? And give me some ideas of some topics that maybe I haven't mentioned that we're going to touch on. Because if it's something I've said, then that means that if you're telling me about it again, that means you didn't pay attention to the video. So pay attention to the video. And the things that I said, the topics I said that we're going to touch on eventually. And let me know if you got some other ideas and some other topics that you would like us to touch on, because I like doing my research on things and I like learning about different stuff. So if it's something that I'm not sure about, that's what I do. I gotta research it. I gotta learn it. I gotta try to make sure, you know, that I'm giving the right information. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the mask. Let's start underneath the neck area first, because this is the driest, and then I'm gonna work my way, because some of those spots just probably is a little bit thicker than others, so it's gonna take longer for it to dry. I have my bowl here. Yes, my cleansing bowl. I love my bowl. And in case you're wondering, this is a stainless steel bowl, and it's got the colors on it. So I'm big on colors. If you can't tell, I love colors. I wore a lot of dark colors for many years, and now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to like brighter colors. And so, yeah. But like I said, we won't be putting the facial creams and stuff on, because we're already almost at 30 minutes. And I don't want you guys to get bored and uninterested in my videos. So we will save other times for another day. How about that? So I'm going to finish taking off this clay mask. And I hope that what we have discussed this morning has touched somebody out there, gave you a better understanding of, you know, self and of the females that you have around you, and how health issues can affect the way you deal with situations from day to day. How medications can affect the way you deal with certain situations, and how we can try to implement more natural things into our daily process to make us healthier and give us the energy that we need, and we can become more closer also to nature that way. Because when you start to use nature as a part of your realignment, it makes things so much better. Don't talk about unibrow, y'all. I know y'all looking at my unibrow saying, oh, she got a whole unibrow sitting up there with that clay mask on. It's not like that for real. Stop. But how you use nature as a part of your realignment and how it helps us better. Because I know when I eat fruits and vegetables and things of that nature, I feel better. I don't know about nobody else. I feel lighter. I feel cleaner. I feel energized. Sometimes I have setbacks, but that's because of health issues that I have been dealing with for quite some time. And sometimes, they will come in, they will creep in, and they will throw a monkey wrench in the program only because your body is trying to realign and recalibrate things, and you're shifting, you're changing. So your body's like, okay, hey, wait a minute now. You'd have been giving me all these pills and this, that, and the other, and now you're trying to give me all this good stuff, and it's natural sugars and vegetables and things of that nature. And so you gotta let me catch up. That's what your body really be telling you. Let me catch up to what you're doing. Don't stop doing it when your body starts talking to you like that. Keep going. Keep going. Keep doing your vegetables. Keep doing your fruits. Keep juicing. Keep going. The strongest animal in the jungle don't eat nothing but fruits, nuts, and vegetables. In case you didn't know it. Strongest animal in the jungle don't eat no meat. It's not a cannibal. Strongest animal in the jungle is a gorilla. And he don't eat none of that stuff. Nothing. So if animals feed on grass and stuff to get their nutrients, their vitamins, and their proteins, why do people tell us we need to eat animal to get protein? Make it make sense. I think I got everything, you guys. Make it make sense. If an animal, got a gray hair there. If an animal in the jungle eats nuts, berries, fruits, and vegetables, and the cows are grazing in the grass, and all of these chickens are eating feed and corn and all of this here kind of stuff, which I wouldn't suggest nobody to eat corn, because if you didn't know, your digestive system is not designed to consume and break down corn when you have eaten it. So that's why you look at it, sometimes you go to the bathroom and the corn is still very visible. So yeah. So I wouldn't say corn, but there's so many things that animals eat. They don't eat all meat. Not all animals that we can consume are meat eaters. Think about it. And they're very healthy and they're very strong. And they serve the purpose for what they serve the purpose for. So if those animals serve the purpose for what they serve the purpose for, and they don't eat anything but fruits, vegetables, nuts, berries, whatever, why are the doctors telling us that we need to eat meat for protein? Think about that. It's those things that make you go, Why are you promoting cannibalism so much to me? Why are you trying to get me to eat meat to build up my iron, to build up my protein, my white blood cells? Why are you trying to get, what is the purpose of this? Like even from small children, when we were little, and our parents used to say, you got to eat all your food. And, we dealt with a lot of meals that were very heavy, like gravies and all this here kind of stuff to it. And they'd be like, you got to make sure you eat all your food off that plate. And I'm like, okay. Half the stuff I didn't like, but okay. And then they wouldn't let you up from the table sometimes until you ate your food off that plate. I remember I was so stubborn. I used to go to sleep sitting to the table. And yeah, because I mean, it wasn't nasty. It's just it was stuff that I didn't like, and I would eat what I could, but what I couldn't, I just couldn't eat it. Like I couldn't eat a whole lot of stuff, and then I could eat a whole lot of stuff when it was something I really liked. Oh yeah, I'll clean the plate then. But if it was something I didn't really care that much for, and you're gonna fix me a plate and you're gonna tell me I better eat everything that's on the plate, you shouldn't have fixed me as much on this plate then. If you wanted me to eat everything, you should have gave me a little bit, because you know I don't care for it. And let me dealt with if I had Miss Meal cramps or whatever later. You know, I'm just saying, parents. Because I used to do it to my children. You better eat all that food that was on that plate. And I didn't know I was wrong. Because how can I decide what your stomach is capable of holding? You do know that your stomach ain't no bigger than your fist. So when you eat a whole bunch of stuff and you put a whole bunch of stuff in your stomach, you're stretching it. And when your stomach gets all out of proportion and it's all flabby and looking all crazy, you wondering why. You stretched it. You put stuff in there that your body did not need. You were being greedy because you liked it, and you stretched your stomach out of proportion. So now you got to work hard, 10 times as hard, to get your stomach kind of back in shape. Because if you don't, it's going to stretch. And before you know it, your stomach going to be sitting in your lap. You ain't going to be able to hold no little kid in your lap no more, because your stomach going to take up that space. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm telling the truth. And then the next thing you know, guess what? They're telling you obese. You're overweight. You gotta lose weight. Your BMI is saying morbidly obese. If you don't know what your BMI is, your body mass index, okay? Look it up, research, learn. It's saying that you're morbidly obese. And you're sitting there looking like you want to cry, but you really can't cry, but you want to cry. Yeah. And that happens to a lot of us. You know, medication can take a part in it. The foods that we eat, not that we eat so much of the foods. It could be the wrong foods that we're eating. And it can, make your body go through certain changes. So, I mean, think about it. I think that's it for this video. We're at 38, almost 39 minutes. I didn't want to go past 30. So I am like almost 9 minutes past 30. But I just want to give you food for thought. Things to consider when you're going through your day and you're dealing with people, women especially, that are going through certain things. And even for you, if you're a man, your health is vital. It's important. Don't take it for granted. Don't shoot yourself short. And don't tap out, because you still got a lot of life to live. So I want you to keep tapping in. Keep tapping in. Don't tap out. Don't tap out. And as always, I wish you love, peace, and blessings until we meet again, beautiful beings. Stay grounded, focused, prayed up, focus on the Most High, focus on the ancestors, focus on the universe, and focus on you. Peace.